student, I welcome you once again to Bible Knowledge in Standard 6. Today we are closer to the end of the Standard 6 Bible Knowledge. Today we are looking at Unit 21. Unit 21, that's where we are today. So we have looked at a number of units, but now this is the last but one unit. So in today's work, we are going to look at the modern technologies in the school. Modern technologies in the school. So this one, it is indeed another good topic, a good unit that we are going to look at because we live in the time of technologies. So we are going to look at the technology. What technology do we use in school for the benefit of learning? So we are going to look at a number of these technologies. So be there. Let us work together up to the end of this unit. So to begin with, let us look at the means of sending and receiving information in the school. The means of sending and receiving information in the school. What are the means? What are the means that are there that we use in receiving and sending information in the school? So you know the number of means that we use. So we're going to look at a number or some of them that we use, the methods or the means, the mediums that we use to send information or to receive information in the school. So be there, let us move together. So there are many ways of sending and receiving messages. So in the school as well, there are so many ways that we use to send and receive the messages or information in the school. So for the past years, letters, telephone, radios, and telegraph have been dominant means of sending and receiving information. So here we are saying that for the past years, letters, telephones, radios, and the telegraph, they have been the means for sending information and receiving information. So we see to it, maybe some of you, you don't really know what the telegraph is, or maybe what the telephone is like, because now we use maybe the mobile phones or the cell phones. But then for the past years, people were using letters, writing a letter, sending it. It would take some days to go there and to receive information, and them again write another letter, post it, and it will come to you. So it was taking some time. And sometimes the telephone, they were taking the telephone with the line connecting different places. Sometimes again the radio was being used again for transferring information from one place to the other. Not only that, the telegraph or the telegram, people were sending the telegram, just few words, then they were sent using the telephone lines as well. So messages have also been sent and received through symbols. So it's not only the things or the mediums that we have talked about, like the letters, the radios, or maybe even the telephones or the telegraph that were used, but sometimes sending information was also used through the symbols. There are symbols. Sometimes a certain symbol can show that this is telling us about this other thing. So those are the ways of receiving or sending information to different places. So for example, the symbol of fire, drums, whistle, leaves on the road, flag, clothes, and trumpet. So we're talking of examples of symbols like fire, drums, whistle, leaves on the road, flag, the clothes, and the trumpet. So we see to it that even the fire sometimes has been used, or sometimes even up to now it is being used as a symbol of something to say, right, when you see the fire there, therefore it is telling you that what you need is there or whatever. For example, like the fishermen, you see that they go deep into the lake at night. How do they notice where they come from? Sometimes they leave a symbol of fire at the shore there. It keeps on lighting, lighting, giving light, so that when they go inside the lake, then they are able to see, all right, we have come from where we see that fire, so they can pedal back to their home, just following that symbol. Or sometimes the drums, when you hear the drum, giddy, 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 sometimes in the villages, or in the yes, in the villages, they are the symbols of something else to say, right? Maybe there's a funeral. Even sometimes the whistle can tell you that, oh, maybe there is a funeral, or whatever communication is there. Sometimes leaves on the road will tell you something to say maybe something has happened. We see that in the location, maybe they have put the leaves on the road. Then usually, like here in Malawi, we see to it that there is a funeral here. So just looking at those symbols, you are able to interpret what it is. Like the flag itself, when you just see the flag, you can notice that, oh, this is the flag for our country. It means this is the office, or the government office that is here, something like that. Or sometimes wearing certain type of clothes, they just tell you that, oh, this one is a soldier, this one is a policeman, this one is a nurse. The clothes that some people wear, they give information. You can send information or receive information. Sometimes the trumpet, people sometimes they blow the trumpets. Even that one again can also be a symbol of sending information or receiving the information. So in schools, many instruments are used to convey information. So we have just looked at the examples of instruments that are used in general terms. But in school again, there are also some of the instruments that are used to convey or to send and receive information. So these include a bell, a notice board, a chalkboard, a telephone, internet, mobile phone, radio, megaphone, posters, placards, banners, t-shirts, and signposts. So some of the things that are used in school are these ones that we're talking about. The bell, when the bell rings, it tells you, oh, the period is over, or maybe now it's time for break, or it's time to knock off. The bell tells you something. Sometimes you rush to the notice board to say, all right, well, let's see what the administration has communicated to us. So on the notice board, you read what communication is there. And also the chalkboard is also a means of communicating. In the classroom, the teacher, you find that he is writing on the board, then he's communicating to you that take notes of these things. The telephone, the internet, the mobile phones, the radios, they are all used in the school as a method, as the media of communication. So we talk of technology is still there even today. We communicate in schools using different methods of communication. So through any of these ways, information is sent from the sender to the receiver. So through all these that we have just looked at, you are able to send information, you are able to receive the information. So we see that there are so many ways that are used to receive or to send information. So modern technology has improved the sending and receiving of information in school. So in school, we see to it that the modern technology is there now to change and improve the way we receive or the way we send information, even in the school. For example, other schools, they learn new knowledge through television, videotapes, videos or radios, DVDs, CDs, and cassettes. So we see that because of the improved technology, in other schools you see that television is used, videotapes are used, and also radios are used, the DVDs. Like here now you are able to use maybe your phone, to use your tablet, to use your computer to learn as I am teaching. So it's a way of the modern technology improving the way how learning takes place. Now, let us look at some of these passages in the Bible stories on the means of sending information. So when we talk of the Bible again, it has recorded some of the means that the people have been using to send and receive information. So when you read the passages like all these, so here you are going to pause a little bit and read, make sure you read all these passages. For example, on Joshua chapter 6 verse 20, during the fall of Jericho, there they were sounding the trumpets as a means of sending or receiving information. Again, the Judges, the same thing. Judges chapter 7 verse 19 to 20. There we see the story of Gideon. Gideon there, he had a few army. They went to fight against the Midianites. There, only 300 people managed to conquer the big army because of the symbols that they used, the trumpets and maybe the torch on one hand and the trumpet. Read that story, it's a very good story. And also 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 7 to verse 8, it is also narrating to say, yes, the language that you use, the sign or the flutes or the harps that you are sounding, they are supposed to coordinate in order to give a sound message or to give or to make a good interpretation of what message you are going to make. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 3 to verse 6, there it's another part. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 3 to verse 6, we see there that Ahaz trembled when they heard that the Israelites and the Syrians, they have come into their area. So there they received the message. The message received was received to them. And again, Ezekiel chapter 33 verse 1 through 9, it is also saying that you have to be a messenger to your friend. If you don't warn your friend to what danger is coming, then if the danger befalls your friend, it is counted on you. All those things to say, you have to give warning, you have to give a sign, you have to send the message to someone else. On Acts again, they are all the same things of sending and receiving the information. So read these passages and see how the Bible talks about sending and receiving information in form of symbols and other things that are there. So there are several ways of sending and receiving information even in the Bible, just as we have said. If you read those passages, you see to it that there are several ways of sending and receiving information or message in the Bible. For example, God communicates to the people through angels and prophets. So we see here that God communicates to the people through the angels as well as the prophets. And in some of the Bible verses, the trumpet was used to convey information to make soldiers ready for action. So in those passages that you have read, you see that in some passages, like in Joshua, there, when they were going around Jericho, there they were sounding the trumpet to make everyone alert in those ways. So we see that the trumpet used in at war or in battle. In the New Testament era, the Apostle Paul spread Christianity by writing letters to different parts of the Roman Empire. So we see that Paul also wrote the letters to different parts of the Roman Empire. So writing letters is also another way of sending or receiving the information or the messages. Dreams and visions are also used as means of sending information. So in the Bible, again, we see that even the dreams were also used, the visions were also used, like like in the Bible in Daniel chapter 2. In Daniel chapter 2, there we see that Daniel or King Nebuchadnezzar had the dream. So it was a way God sending information to the world through the dreams. We have ever heard about the story of Joseph who interpreted the dream of the Pharaoh. It is also a way that the Bible tells us of sending and receiving information. Now, to this far, we have come to the end of this unit whereby we are looking at the technologies, modern technology in school. So we have seen to it that there are ways of sending information from one point to the other, even in the school. And in the Bible again, we have seen that there are also stories there that tells us how the Bible, how information has been transferred from one place to the other. So we see to it here that sending and receiving information is a vital or a very important way. But we have also learned that in the modern era, technology is advancing such that we are using things like the internet, the mobile phones, we are using the computers, the DVDs to learn in schools. So in that way, it means that information is able to be transferred from one place to the other, not only using one method. But here with me now, I have the exercise before we go to the next unit, which is the last unit. Here is the exercise. Number one, mention any three dominant ways of sending information in school. Mention any three dominant ways of sending information in school. Number two, mention any four symbols that are used to send information. Mention any four symbols that are used to send information. Number three, give any five instruments that are used in schools to convey information. Number four, mention any four examples that show how technology has improved the sending and receiving of information in school. Number five, mention any three ways how the Bible information has been sent and received. So all these questions, you have to answer them very well. Answer them clearly, good handwriting, copy the question, provide the answers like that in a clear way. So next time we are going to proceed as we look at unit 22, which is the very last unit. And in this unit, we are going to look at modern technology in the church. Modern technology in the church. So today we have looked at modern technology in the school. But next time we are going to look at the modern technology in the church. So be there next time as we'll conclude Bible knowledge in Standard 6 by looking at modern technology in the church. What is the technology that is there used in the church? So be there next time, and until next time, thank you so much.